Hey guys, welcome to a recap of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 12 Sex, Lies, and Video Phones. I'm telling you, the title of the show gave, but the producers can keep. The producers can keep it. Because seriously, did we really let Drew and Moneta carry this show? Are they responsible for carrying this show? Because no, ma'am, no way, nuh not in our faces. Don't do it, producers. You have an opportunity to get everything back in order because these two cannot run this show. No, they cannot. So I felt like this episode was so boring, so dry. I felt like there was moments that could have been a moment, but obviously and clearly we have to talk about stuff that wasn't filmed that we let the girls be responsible in filming. What is going on? I feel like they either need to regroup, re-strategize how they plan to film The Real Housewives of Atlanta because right now it is not it, honey. It is not it, and it is not giving. And the viewers, we feel it, we sense it, and we've been calling it out. Because the only thing that ate this episode was the title. The title, superb, spectacular. I felt like it could have been a music video. But the contents in this episode, guys, what am I supposed to do? I feel so bad having to recap this episode because honestly, the scene, what we really talked the most about is Drew and Latoya's kiss. And that happened way back when Cynthia was on the franchise. Cynthia has been gone. So why are we talking about this? So y'all, let's get into this. Hold your horses because we got to get through this. Okay, let's hold on. Okay. So Drew, she spent she spends the whole episode trying to convince the ladies, the viewers, the producers, everybody that she did not kiss Latoya. At some point, it was getting a little bit convincing, but we have to realize who are the players involved in this whole situation. Now, for me, if Candy Burris Tucker is involved in the situation, then I would have to side with Candy because Candy is not known to be a liar. Okay? Candy always comes from what we have seen so far with the facts. So we're looking at Drew since she's the new girl, that she's, trying to hide the truth. This whole situation started because, they're having pajama night and, I wouldn't call it lingerie night. It was supposed to be lingerie night, but it's really giving pajama night. And the girls, after production crew left, they were trying to have fun. It was a vibe. And it comes up about the situation with Drew kissing Latoya. And of course, Drew was not having that at all. The girls were going back and forth. Candy was getting, kind of hype because she did not want to be known as a liar. She was telling the truth. I don't know why it came up in the first place, but it came up. This happened all the way back in Cynthia's time when she had a bachelorette party and they were up in North Carolina and there was a whole situation with Latoya and Drew kissing. So, of course, since the girls are responsible with filming, we had Marlo. She was filming the co-confrontation as well as Moneta. So Marlo, making it a little bit interesting for us. She sends the videotape over to Latoya, who then sends it to Drew. So this causes Drew to call up Latoya to say, "You didn't kiss me." And even now, what was weird is that Latoya is saying that she did not kiss Drew when we had a whole confessional moment in the reunion last year of her admitting that she kissed Drew. So I'm confused. Why is she walking it back? Was she paid? No way Drew paid Latoya off because what would be the reason? Why is she walking back this now? Okay. I am confused. I am lost. So please help us, production crew, because obviously we're letting Drew run this season. Okay. So throughout this whole episode, we see how the ladies take sides and whose side are they on. And oftentimes, some of these ladies they keep switching, flip flopping, but let's first talk about it. So first we have, of course, we already explained Candy versus Drew. And at the end, I'm siding with Candy. Candy won that battle for me because Miss Mama, she pulled up the receipt. She called up Cynthia. She called up Shamia. She called up Kenya. And they all were witnesses to the kiss. So when you have witnesses, plural, who are you supposed to believe, Drew? What would be the reason, Drew? And that's where we have Drew versus Drew at this point. We're getting Drew versus Drew because she's trying to formulate some sort of lie, some sort of setup, some sort of plot. And how she even argues this to Sheree. She says to Sheree, maybe, this was Candy way to set her up, to warm her up, to do a kiss on her production. You know that Candy Burris is a production queen. So I'm like, really, Drew? Really? Is that where we're going? Is that how we're trying to transform this whole situation? Because I'm not buying it. And since it's Drew versus Drew, Drew, you just lost against your own self. So we also get to see Moneta versus Marlo because the whole situation, the whole drama they're trying to create is that, oh, Marlo recorded and sent that videotape, but also Manetta was recording. But Manetta, she doesn't give us too much of applause. She says, well, I was responsible for recording because, production crew has left and we were responsible. But she did like take note that if they really want to have some fun and be their authentic self, which was very sus that she admitted that when they were being their authentic self, she knew to, cut the cameras, cut the cameras, cut the cameras, which goes to show you that these girls are not delivering us reality. Okay, they're not giving us reality because they obviously know that when the cameras are up, they're gonna play a script. And I don't want to feel disrespected as a viewer. You guys don't want to be disrespected as a viewer. You want to feel like we're watching stuff in real time, even though, there's some moments that are going to be produced and they can't help it. But still, in our faces, I feel like Manera, she pull the curtains a little bit more for us and reveal to us that these ladies are not being their authentic self. Okay, guys, and I did not like that one bit whatsoever. So, as I mentioned, now Latoya is trying to walk it back, saying she did not kiss Drew. So, of course, we get Latoya versus Latoya. Her reunion confession to now her current confession are now against each other, and we're like, okay, why is she taking it back? What is the reason? But we do get to see a sneak peek of next week's episode, and Latoya will be featuring in this episode, and she will have to say her part. And I feel like, as she should, because these ladies are discussing her some past tea now in this current season. So it's only right, only fair that Shamia, she has the opportunity to, not Shamia, that we get Latoya to say her side, her piece, her take on it. Maybe we'll get some tea from it, but I don't know what the hell is going on. But these ladies are not picking up their lines. Someone is not following the scripts. But in our faces, y'all, this is legit in our faces. How do y'all feel? I want to know down in the comments down below. Okay, let me know. All I know is that throughout this whole episode, you could clearly see by Drew's face that she wants the topic to be done. Like she wants the conversation to be over and done. But before we really get into how badly she wants it to be over, I do have to bring up in this trip, we had a little bit of an emotional moment with Miss Kenya Summer Moore. Our girl, she can be a sweetheart. I know these girls like to call her mean, but she has a softer side. And we get to see a little bit of her softer side over in the sound bath situation. The ladies went and they did a sound bath, and she really had a moment where she was reflecting, and you could see it was part it being gratitude. She was reflecting how she doesn't even feel like how can she deserve Brooklyn to have her as a daughter. And I feel like it was such a healing moment where she was going through her emotions, because we could feel like that, go through that as people. And I like that we're having at least a genuine moment from Kenya, and at least from a lady on the show. But I could completely understand her because, we have seen her, going through this journey, she wants to get, a sibling for Brooklyn. So she is just feeling so grateful, very special that she has a daughter in the first place and having her appreciate motherhood, given that she didn't have a good experience with her own mother, that she now gets to step into motherhood and have a great appreciation for it. Beautiful moment, highlight of the moment, highlight of this episode for me. But let's continue on. That was a moment. But these ladies, they don't last long. I thought the sound bath would have the energy switch to moving more positive. But of course, when the ladies go to eat after, every sit down, every eating situation is never a good situation. Ah, I feel so uncomfortable for me to watch because it's so awkward because I know it's about to go down and these ladies are out for blood and they're trying to make a show, but it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. It's very stressful, I would say, guys. What would you guys say? So we get to a little light lunch before the dinner. And of course, Sheree, she wants to talk about the whole situation with the pajamas and what went down because not all the ladies were present. Even though Kenya, she acts like she was very present in the whole situation. And they talk about Drew again. And you can see by Drew's face, they're like, really, do we really have to get back to this? Because obviously she doesn't want this topic to be talked about, and it's very clear that these ladies have something against lesbianism. Because why is it such a big deal that Drew kissed Latoya? They were just having girl fun times. I mean, like, they didn't get to see anything truly X-rated. From what was described by Kenya, it was just a kissing situation. It was like faces moving, and that was it. Okay, if that was it, let it be it. Let it lie. Let it lie. Let it go for the sake of Drew. Because I feel like this may be a situation which is causing issues in her marriage, in her relationship with Ralph. Because look at it this way, guys. Drew was really on top of Ralph for, going out on his trips and engaging in activities that she did not feel like coincides with a man being in a marriage. So, what would it be of Drew for her to go out on a trip? She's married and do these kind of activities that maybe her partner does not, you know, really want his partner to be doing. Okay, so what we have here is a hypocrite. So I can understand how Ralph could feel a certain type of way about the whole situation, the whole conversation. We don't know, but I have a feeling, I have a sense that that's why Drew wants this situation to stop talking, especially when we hearing and seeing previews about Ralph talking about her kissing somebody that was a woman. So, oof. Oof, 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 I can see why Drew wants this topic to drop. But Marlo, she keeps like egging this whole topic on, and we see Drew trying to have a Teresa Giudice moment with the banging of the table, about to flip a table. And Kenya, she is not helping at all. She is giggling over to the side, like, what the hell is going on? But then somehow, through Kenya giggling, it turned to a whole situation where it was Kenya versus Courtney. Kenya versus Courtney. I know Kenya did not like this girl. But why did Courtney had to drop a bomb on the table saying that, Kenya is a mean girl and that's why she fell on her butt? And then Kenya, that was the ammo that Kenya needed to really go ham on not liking Courtney because she needed a more valid reason. I can understand the boundaries of not touching, but Courtney hasn't done anything outright in my eyes for Kenya to really go at her. Like, go at her, go at her. So, of course, Kenya does not like that, Courtney wants to talk about karma this, karma that. And it just gets really embarrassing to the point that Sheree storms off and get out from the. She removes herself from the table, and said, "You ladies are embarrassing. We just came from a sound bath." But Sheree, you started it. Like you started with these girls, with Drew, and you know how these girls like to do. They like to do hot potato, hot potato. First, if the heat is on them, they try to pass it on to the next one, then to the next one, and then to the next one. So I felt like Sheree, you were the one who started this as the bone collector. So, girl, please, mama, please, please, please. So the ladies call it a night. And honestly, it got really boring after this because the ladies, they get on the bus. Then no one wants to talk to each other. It's a quiet ride home. Even the bus driver is like, ladies, we arrive. And they get up and they go back to the whole hotel room and call it a night. And guys, honestly, at this point, I want to go home. I want to leave Portugal. This girl trip was not girls tripping for me. It was not giving what it was supposed to give. But these ladies, they have to continue. And it's their last day of Portugal. And so it's a new day, the last day. And I was a little bit excited because I saw the girls, they were getting glam and they all look really good. Most of them. Most of them look really good to go to the winery. Um, I love Kenya's outfit for the winery. Who else had a Sheree had a good outfit. Sonya had a it was an okay outfit. It was giving. I like Marlo's outfit for the winery. Now Drew, I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. It was not the vibe for me. If you come back with a stylist, okay? So they go off to the winery. It's a new day, so let's make it a good one. Let's wrap it up. Honestly, they could have wrapped up the episode after last night's dinner, okay? But where it's a new day, so I'm having my optimism, you know, ahusa. It's a healing trip for the sake of Sheree. So at the winery, the girls are drinking the drinks, they're having fun. It's very cute. You know, I'm watching as the viewer, but I'm also very nervous, very scared because I just went through it with them in this boring little episode, okay? So Marla receives a text, bloop, bloop, and it's from Ralph. And I'm like, wait, this is too much for my little heart to handle. What's going on? What's the tea? But you know, Ralph, he sent actually a very mature text. He's very much, I'ma handle this the right way. What Drew couldn't do. Okay. So he contacts Marlo because the night before Marlo was talking about Ralph's husband's tax history, just dropping information. And he says to her in the text on the last day, saying that Marlo, we worked things out last year. I accepted your apology. I wanted to move on a better footing with you, but I don't know why you're saying these things about me. And actually, Marlo feels bad and she has regret in talking about Ralph. I don't think she has an issue with Ralph. She only has an issue with Drew, and you could tell she regretted bringing up Ralph and his, you know, whatever his history is financially, career wise. Okay, so she's quick to drop it, and even the ladies, they don't want it to become a thing because Drew seemed like she wanted it to be a thing, but the ladies like, you know, it's enough. It's the last day. Let's just end this on a positive. But I feel like this was such an interesting positive. They want to leave it on. I feel like, oh, this was not a relaxing girls trip. I did like that Mayara did have her little moment where she teaches the people who was dancing at the winery the cuff it challenge. So they all lined up and she showed them the moves, and I thought that was pretty cute. A good way to end it, but I still have a feeling like, oof, I need a vacation from this girls trip. I didn't even go on. It was so stressful. It was not giving. I feel like, guys, we gotta change the whole cast. Do what y'all did to New York to Atlanta, because at this point, at this moment, it's done. It's done, and I'm tired. I'm tired. Okay, but the preview did get me. I feel like the preview was giving. I feel like the preview with Candy Burris and her production, with inviting all the girls. We have Cynthia making an appearance next episode. Latoya. So I'm just hoping and waiting. I said, guys, please let this episode, next episode, pop, because this episode was a drop. We could have dropped this one. Okay. So, woo. We got through this recap, guys. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments down below. I'm so disappointed in our girls because Atlanta used to do it for me. Atlanta used to do it for me, but now, mm-mm-mm, somebody's got to go, okay? And it's a bunch of them too. Sanya could go. Drew can go. Manetta can go. Kenya wasn't Kenya. I feel like if we get to see more of Kenya's hair care journey, her salon that she got all together, I want to see. I feel like we're missing so much. I have seen actually Miss Marlowe's date Scott Lee. He, interesting enough, if you made it to this part of the episode of this recap, leave a heart down in the comments down below. But interesting enough, I don't know if you guys like the Food Network. I love the Food Network. So I was watching the Food Network late at night and I saw Scott Lee on an episode of Chopped. He was on an episode of Chopped and the man got chopped. There was three contestants and he was the first one to get chopped. And I'm like, Scott Lee, you gotta hold it down. But I felt like it was debatable. I'd probably do a little video about that because I really do enjoy cooking channels, especially when I'm about to go to sleep. But yeah, I'm like, I recognize this man. And when it said his name down below, I said, oh, this is the same Scott Lee that's Miss Marlowe is seeing. So I will have that recap for you as a little surprise for those who made it to the end. I want to say to you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate every one of you for taking the time to watch my channel. You know, I'm posting everything I can do, everything I would like to do. So I'm so grateful for you guys' support. As always, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and share as much kindness as possible. So love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.